Up next on this edition of the Arlington Weekly News is Pia Salmre and her guest, Pia.
Thanks, Greg. And my guest today is Sulaiman Tarawaley. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're very welcome.
You are involved in a one-man crusade. Tell me about it. It's in Seirra Leone. First of all, where is Seirra Leone?
Well, Seirra Leone is on the west coast of Africa. It's bounded on the north by the Republic of Guinea, on the east by the Republic of Liberia, and on the west and south by the Atlantic Ocean. It is about the size of South Carolina, about 27,000 square miles, with a population of roughly about 4 million people.
And what happened there?
Well, I mean, there was a civil war that started in Seirra Leone in 1991, and which lasted for about 10 years. I mean, a group that called itself the Revolutionary United Front, the RUF, led by an ex-corporal in the military, Fode Sanko, started a war to overthrow the government.
And many people lost their limbs.
That is exactly correct. I mean, and in the event of the war, I mean, they use, maiming of the civilian population as a means of intimidating the masses of the people to support their cause against the government. So as a result of that, they were chopping off the limbs of even little kids as young as about 11 months old.
That is awful.
And, as old as about 70, 80 years old. Chopped off both limbs. It could be the upper limb or the lower limbs. Most of them had either one or two limbs chopped off, either the arms or the legs.
And tell me, how are you helping out the amputees over there?
Well, I mean, I'm a journalist by profession, and I had reported on the news about the civil war in Seirra Leone for 10 years. And in 2001, I went to Seirra Leone to visit. And after seeing for myself firsthand what I had been reporting in the news, I mean, as an individual, I was left with emotional tears.
What did you see?
I saw, like I said before, I mean, little kids with their limbs chopped off, older citizens of Seirra Leone, young ones. I mean, these people hacked off the limbs indiscriminately.
And we have some pictures.
And yes, we do. In fact, do have some pictures of what I'm talking about. And as a result, I decided that, I mean, if I came back to the United States, I was going to help. And on my arrival, I contacted the American Red Cross for help. But because they couldn't have, financial assistance at that time, they gave me telephone numbers of a few organizations within the United States that they said could help. Unfortunately, Chariots of Hope in East Hartford, Connecticut, consented that they were going to help to alleviate the suffering of the people in Seirra Leone, especially the amputees. And they decided that they were going to donate wheelchairs free of charge, with the condition that the wheelchairs be shipped to Seirra Leone by myself.
So
and
you paid for the wheelchairs?
Yes, I paid out of my pocket. And also with the promise that the wheelchairs got to the people who actually needed the wheelchairs.
So that required a couple trips for you over to Seirra Leone from
Of course,
there.
yes. I mean, when I received the wheelchairs in my apartment in Maryland...
How many wheelchairs?
The first batch of wheelchairs that were sent to my house were 31 wheelchairs. In fact, Chariots of Hope has decided to donate about 100 or 150 wheelchairs.
That is great.
Yes, and in fact, each of those wheelchairs, I believe, a used wheelchair costs roughly about $500.
Oh, my.
So, I mean, the wheelchairs, which in fact I took to Seirra Leone, was worth close to about $20,000.
Wow.
And the rest of the wheelchairs are supposed to come anytime soon, because Chariots of Hope had a wheelchair drive just at the end of May last month. And I should be expecting those wheelchairs.
And how can Arlingtonians help out? I see we have one more minute, and I hope our Mr. Hank has put all the pictures up there to show the atrocities and to show your help.
Well, actually, I mean, there is a number on the screen that could be called, and I could be reaching that number. What we're looking forward to is to receiving used wheelchairs or even new wheelchairs, which could be sent to me and which I could take to those people in Seirra Leone, because
so
they
if they have extra
destitute.
wheelchairs,
if somebody has an extra wheelchair, that they are not able to, that they don't want to use right now, they could be donated. I could pick them up and we could ship them to Seirra Leone. And I want to make a promise here that they shouldn't have anything to worry about. I'll definitely make sure that the wheelchairs get in the hands of those destitute people, because this is something that came from my heart, from God, and that is something that I want to make sure that I do, to make sure that those people are happy. Because you see, There is nothing good that you can have in this world that you can feel personally touched on than when you do something good for another individual.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Sulaiman, for coming on. And please, Arlingtonians, help out Sulaiman and his crusade in Seirra Leone. Now back to the desk.